Welcome to The Rundown. I'm Casey Maldonado. With COVID-19 still prevalent in our world today, changes had to be made to college athletics. News outlets reporting on those sports were no exception. Here's Madeline Moskich with the story.
Rider University has 16 different athletic teams, with over 400 student athletes. But now, with COVID-19, many college athletic conferences are canceling or postponing their seasons for the fall of 2020. With the lack of sports news, many outlets like BroncVision, the Rider News, and the Rider Sports Report are finding new ways to keep sports alive during this time.
So normally during the athletic season, Rider Sports Report would cover all upcoming news about the different sports, how the teams are doing. We would go cover some games, do some interviews. So now, because there's no sports competing at Rider, we are trying to focus on more feature stories. So maybe getting some alumni in there. Our first episode, we focused just on the volleyball team. So I was able to go into the practice and talk to some of the athletes with masks, of course.
BroncVision, Rider's athletic channel, which normally broadcasts on ESPN3, is also finding themselves at a loss for footage.
My name is Chris Foster. I am the Assistant Athletic Director for Digital and New Media. As part of our broadcasting agreement with ESPN through our conference, I'm producing our live broadcasts of our sporting events at home. So I think BroncVision here and then broadcasting in general is very important now, and it's important to get our product and our players and our department and our school out into the marketplace.
The Rider News is also finding new ways to bring athletic stories to its pages by taking this time to reflect back on the past seasons and appreciate the dedication going into each team. However, basketball season is quickly approaching, and the Rider News is using this time to inform folks about the new protocols put in place both by the NCAA and the MAC conferences.
The official start date for the season is November 25th. The NCAA agreed on that. I don't believe that Rider will begin its season on November 25th, maybe a few days after, maybe the 28th. Both teams had their first official practices with the entire team in the gymnasium together. Fans aren't going to be allowed into any games until December 23rd, I believe, 23rd, 24th. I want to say the 23rd, actually.
To see what our Bronx athletes are up to, be sure to check out the Rider Sports Report on YouTube. And to stay in the loop of all things Rider athletics, be sure to check out the Rider News at theridernews.com or the BroncVision page on gobronx.com. I'm Madeline Motichka with The Rundown.
The National Hockey League was cut short of their normal season due to COVID-19. After 4 months out of the rink, the boys were soon back into the ice playing. Here's Jordan Dreyer with the NHL story to safe season.
Do you remember a time where you could go see a hockey game live? Kinda looked like this.
And Carolina's Justin Williams. Yeah, I don't think in full swing. Chase on! His first saves in the goal crease. And a crowd roaring as the Blues celebrated their first ever Stanley Cup championship.
Me too. However, with the strike of coronavirus, that became a thing of the past when the NHL announced that the 2019-2020 season would be suspended until further notice.
Last night, the NBA said it was suspending its season, and you heard earlier tonight on our program from NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman that the league is doing the same.
And we were constantly evolving our strategy as to how we were going to have our teams playing or not playing or under what circumstances.
Officially, the season is suspended.
Taking the league by surprise, players were asked by various news reporters on their opinions of suspending the season for COVID-19. Here's what they had to say.
Yeah, it's a different situation. I mean, you know, we're people too, just like everybody else, right? And we got to take the measures to protect ourselves and protect the people around us. And
obviously, it's a pretty serious situation. I know I got some friends over in Europe that play in the European leagues, and some of those leagues have been canceled. So it's a weird spot to be in.
With the season being suspended, players were sent home, told to train, be safe, and patient. However, that did not stop them from interacting with their fans virtually.
Hey Canucks fans, it's Adam and Michaela here. Just wanted to make sure everybody's staying safe out there.
Tyler Myers here. Just want to say, hope everyone's staying safe through this tough time.
Hey everyone, welcome to Gritty's Quarter Hour of Power.
The happiness doesn't stop there. For hockey fans, just a few short months later, the wait was over after a message from NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman.
To announce the National Hockey League's plans for our resumption of play, the format of the 2020 Stanley Cup playoffs, and how we will conduct the 2020 NHL Draft Lottery.
The NHL health guidelines allow the 2019-2020 hockey season to continue, but sadly no fans would be present in in-person playoff games. But that did not stop the players from having the time of their lives.
It's an issue for him. He's feeling healthy, and by all accounts, there was a good training camp for him as far. They're going to go. Farabee down low, winning battles like that. He made the Matthew Tkachuk up on top. Ed Backstrom, Oshie, Veron.
Each team fought hard through the playoffs while staying safe from COVID-19. No fans in the stands did not stop the hard work these players put in day and night.
And I look forward to the greatest privilege of all, presenting the most storied and coveted trophy in all of sports to the captain of the 2019-20 Stanley Cup champions. Thank you.
Thanks, Bettman. We're excited for hockey to be back and cannot wait to hear the updated safety guidelines for the 2020-2021 season. Now, if you excuse me, I have to go iron my jersey and get ready for this season. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Jordan Dreyer, and this was The Rundown.
In our next story, we'll learn about the Hockey Diversity Alliance and how those who formed it began working in order to change the face of hockey for good. Here's Jen Barzone with the details.
Over the course of the past 5 to 6 months, many people have taken sort of a break due to the recent COVID-19 pandemic, and they saw it as an opportunity. In this past June, the Hockey Diversity Alliance was formed by a group of prominent minority professional hockey players that have come together to eradicate racism in the NHL. The alliance includes professionals like Akeem Alou, Evander Kane, Trevor Daley, Anthony Duclair, Matt Dumba, and many more. They've sought to work together with the NHL to further educate and encourage accountability from their leagues and leaders. The HGA wants to ensure at the grassroots level that hockey can be accessible to anyone who loves the game.
And to my understanding, the Hockey Diversity Alliance is a player-ran organization in the NHL where they do their own personal actions as a way to increase racial equality.
The Hockey Diversity Alliance is a group of current and former players who decided enough is enough, that racism shouldn't have a place in hockey, and they want to encourage younger kids of all races, of all different capacities, to try out for hockey and to play hockey.
The HGA alone has put 35% of their funding towards these grassroots development and equipment programs. According to the HGA website, they say that in order to achieve their purpose, they're going to have all partner associations and organizations sign an HGA pledge that further commits them to making these changes. At the start of August, co-founder Matt Dumba delivered an address commencing the Stanley Cup playoffs. By the end of the month, the HGA formally requested that the NHL suspend all playoffs and to sign the HGA pledge to show their support to this case.
So I stand in front of you today on behalf of those groups and promise you that we will fight against justice. We will fight against injustice and fight for what is right.
Unfortunately, as of October 7th, the HGA made a statement that they have to operate independent of the NHL because, quote, it is clear they are not prepared to make measurable commitments to end racism in hockey.
I found out recently, just as you did, that the NHL refused to sign the HGA pledge, and I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't with the way our world's going and the societal issues are going.
I also think it's totally ridiculous that the NHL decided that they weren't going to sign this pledge, that they weren't going to work with the Hockey Diversity Alliance. I think it's really outdated, and the NHL and most leagues of hockey are run by, they call them old school, where they don't want anything new, they don't want anything controversial or could be considered controversial, so I think the NHL should just sign the pledge.
For more updates and info on the Hockey Diversity Alliance, visit the HGA website at www.hockeydiversityalliance.org. This is Jen Barzone reporting from The Rundown.
Since the outbreak of COVID-19, many changes have been made to our everyday lives and to the things that we love and enjoy, like our favorite sports teams. Here's Nicole Baranata with how the virus is affecting the Philadelphia Eagles and the NFL as a whole.
The NFL has had to undergo many changes ever since the 2020 season started. The Philadelphia Eagles have been strongly affected by these changes. The excited and supportive Eagles fans were out of luck when it was announced that no fans were allowed in the stadiums for the start of the season. Since then, new restrictions were set in place, and now a select few fans are allowed in the Lincoln Financial Field for the games.
It's really important to be here and just show that we're all one team, that we're all united. It's hard for the Eagles to be successful without their fans. We're the biggest part of the team.
The Eagles haven't been quite lucky this season so far, but hopefully some encouraging fans will be able to change that.
The fact that having people there and the energy there, they're going to be like, we've been missing this. This is what we needed.
The players also have to take many precautions since they will be playing against other teams from all over and interacting and playing with each other. Before the season started, they were required to take an educational COVID-19 and safety program along with all of their family members. The team also had to create their own infectious disease emergency response plan, have non-shareable items including water bottles and towels, and have their own screening before even entering the stadium each day.
I feel very good about the safety of our building and the protocols that we have in place. That's one thing that I do know.
All of these procedures were set in place in order to still continue the NFL 2020 season. It's been successful so far, so hopefully we will be able to watch this season play out safely.
It's a matter of just protecting each other, and our goals don't change. Obviously, we're going to continue to press forward one day at a time.
For more information about the NFL COVID-19 procedures, please visit operations.nfl.com. This is Nicole Bernarda reporting live.
Now that the NFL is back in full swing this season, the NFC East has been plagued with countless injuries and problems. This year, the NFC East has struggled significantly. I had a chance to take a closer look at what's happening in the NFC East.
It's no secret that the NFC East has struggled in early games this season. The teams that make up the NFC East are none other than the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington team, Dallas Cowboys, and the New York Giants. ESPN Bill Barwell commented stating, Philadelphia's tie in Week 3 saved the 2020 version of the NFC East from being the worst division in modern league history through 4 games. The NFC East has been hit with countless injuries and has developed a poor reputation throughout the years. This season in particular, the NFC East has undergone tremendous heat as they struggled to stay afloat. To date, the 4 teams in the NFC East make up a total record of 3, 12, and 1, the worst in the NFL. To comment on the current state of the NFC East division is Philadelphia sports fan Malik H.
Because the entire division, all 4 of the teams, they're all struggling. They all got new coaches. They're all really rebuilding still. So I think it's going to take them a couple years to really be a dominant division.
The NFC East will certainly have their hands full as they push through the remainder of the season. This is Casey Maldonado reporting from The Rundown.
Being a division athlete is hard enough, but if you are coming to America from a different country, it can be even harder. Field reporter Danielle Tyson got to look at the differences some international students experience while playing sports here at Rider University.
Playing a Division I sport is hard, especially while managing schoolwork and life in general. Imagine coming from another country and having to speak in a foreign language and doing all the other tasks of a Division I college student at the same time. I got to interview 3 girls from the field hockey team on what is different here compared to home and some of their struggles on the field.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Thomas. I'm a sophomore here at Rider and I'm from Toronto, Canada. One thing different about playing here in the US versus in Canada is certain terminology. When I say some things, my teammates don't understand that specific word, or just our style of play. Like back at home, we pass the ball back more often and reset. Meanwhile here, they keep going forward.
Hi, I'm Kiki. I'm from the Netherlands and I'm a sophomore in the Rider field hockey team. The main difference between playing at home and playing here is that here it's way more physical than in the Netherlands. But also in the Netherlands you're allowed to hack more than here. But here people are allowed to push you more than in the Netherlands. So that's a big difference. I also think that the training is way different. We are way more serious here. We practice so much and we work so hard all together for the same goal, and that's different than the Netherlands because I was not in a super serious team in the Netherlands. I also think that here it's more you're playing with your family more than my team at home.
I'm Josefina. I'm from Chile. I'm a freshman majoring in business. The main difference between playing here and home is the language, and also I think that playing here is way much physical than Chile.
Is there anything else that you like struggled with, like coming here and
The like talking in the field. Like talking to me here, like in America, is not that hard. Like talking with people, but when I'm in the field, it's super hard to me, like to say instructions or like right, left, up, down. It's hard for me.
Overall, they're doing the best they can and trying to adjust to the type of play here in the States. Personally, I think they're all doing a great job.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's show. I'm Casey Maldonado. Thanks for watching.